Okay, are we live? We might be. We might be a little live. Are we live? Said, are we live? It looks like we are live. Hey, Papa Cotton. Hey, Papa Cotton. Can't make any racist jokes about me starting late. I'm on time. Actually, early. This damn thing is not gonna. And of course, I'm getting punished by my controller acting up. So let me restart the game. Let's see. Okay. Let's alrighty. Now we got the controller working. VigilanteWilliamson here on another episode of Sunday Night Games. I didn't do the whole episode thing. Oh wait, I just want to go away. Make the menu go away. The menu not gonna go away? I thought it. Sheesh. Hold on again. Let's close this. Okay, it went away. All right. After all that crap, and we'll probably crash because OBS loves crashing. But how's everyone doing? Excuse me. This is a Super Bowl Sunday. If you watch that, and you're based in America, what does he do? Oh wow, it's a lot of it. Okay, so he has a very damaging move. Like this. Oh wow, he does a lot more damage. So maybe I can finally get through this level with this way more powerful character I unlocked. Look at this. He's like a cheat character. Good. I need to do whatever it takes to win. I'm so sick of being on this level. Only having a couple levels to, do anything with. Because so far I only had 2 levels unlocked. Shout out to anyone who's watching this live on the playback. Haven't done as many clips as I want to. I haven't worked on things like as much as I want to, I'll be honest. I don't know if some of it's kind of health-ish. Lord knows my back and just energy levels is always low. I gotta make an effort to get healthy. I know I say that damn near every week. I've gone OMAD a couple days. I might stick to that. Or some level of that. I think if I could at least intermittent fast or OMAD or some version of that, I think something like that will be very helpful for me. So even though after stream I might get an energy drink just because I got this things for the channel and for the character and for my side hustle. I've been slacking on my side hustle. Outside of all this, I got so much to do, and I got to get stuff done. So I slept all day, off tomorrow. I might as well, take advantage. Hopefully I can link up with my brother, which I was supposed to today. I just slept throughout. I got off of work yesterday, slept the whole day. Still, I still haven't checked the UFC. I want to see what happened with my man Volk. I had that damn thing up, that stream up. Oh shit, please kill these guys. Damn it. I had that stream up and just fell asleep with the UFC shite. So I'm not sure. Let me know in the chat if you guys are UFC guys or gals. Oh sheesh. Doing a lot less damage now, it seems. So but if anyone is a UFC person, let me know. And what happened with Volk. If anyone's in the chat. We're doing a lot of shorts. I'm not sure. It seems like I'll get subs and then lose them. So, I don't know. Just keep the grind going. And plus, TikTok's doing good. I'm at like 50. over there, so I'll take it. Man, it's a lot of stuff over here. What the hell? Okay, Papa Cotton's here. Appreciate you being here. Saw you on Drew's or in Drew's chat. That's one of the few shows I would, want to go on. I would go on there before I would go on at this point. No disrespect to Gary. I'll go there before I go on Friday Night Tights. I want to, or at least I want to. Not say I wouldn't, but I'm trying to kind of forge my own path doing this. Actually doing these games and doing this. I just haven't been putting out the clips. Cause that's the new gimmick. The clips and the shorts. That's what that's what I watch, bro. I watch so many fucking shorts and so much. I'm starting to get on TikTok and all this other stuff. So, and I'm starting to watch a lot of people's freestyles, and I want to start doing more music stuff. But then even some of these, things we talk about here, I want to start making into shorts. So, we will see. But again, appreciate anyone watching this live. Hopefully as I do more, we'll have more growth and all that good stuff. Oh shit, I'm gotten all the health before I needed it. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Still at full. But yeah, just all you do is the best you can. Nothing's guaranteed on these platforms. And hey, there's no guarantee that success is success. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you think Tim Pool's feeling about his success right now, right? I think when you always saying something, you always got something to say. He's knee deep in whatever the hell this Eliza Blue thing, which has been explained to me. I still kind of get it, but I just haven't been following enough to know all the nuances. And I don't give a shit, to be honest. A lot of the BS. She's Nor Health. Well, okay, I'm gonna try to save that one. The part of the thing is you try to save it, and then you'll be in a different part of the map by the time you need it. Shite, what the hell? What do we see? I've been kind of silent. I'm like, hey, what do we talk about? Super Bowl. Didn't see the whole thing. Like I said, I've been kind of sleeping all day. So I kind of woke up around 8-ish Central Time, and the Super Bowl was in the early third quarter. Ended up watching quite a bit of it. They're starting to kind of corner me. But thoughts on it? It was an okay game. The ending was a bit sour, but that's the rigged NFL for you. So I didn't really like the booking and the ending, but it was cool. I mean, sports ball. I used to be a diehard. If you don't know that it's rigged for Vegas, man, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, God bless you. I know a lot of people are just so diehard, and then when you tell them, they're just, oh, you just a whatever fan. It's like, okay, whatever, man. It's just your business. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't tell you how it's rigged, but I know that is rigged. And there was a lot of controversy on the last call. And actually, it's funny. The last couple Kansas City games had those little weird calls at the end that really made the difference. And see, look at their pattern. They're just like cornering. They're coming from every. They're not giving me a path to really walk, or I got to like really try to find one, try to shift the defense, so to speak. Sheesh. And I'm really not hitting these people. And these are the harder to damage characters, so it's harder to level up. Shite. It's like, how do you change direction? Ugh. Sheesh. I gained a lot of experience stuff. Wish I was getting the big damage that I was getting earlier. I don't know what happened. So what's this game? Oh no, this is a V-Dub goes to a gay bar. Nah, this is Vampire Survivor. It's a very simple looking game, but as you can see, it's an indie game, which I want to make an indie game. Hopefully we will have a Vigilante Williamson indie game one day. But it's a simple little indie game. Matt talked about it and my brother had talked about it. Shite. And I can't remember which order, whatever order. And all you gotta do is try to avoid these enemies, but you can't get, like, I'm not triggering the attacks. They trigger at a random interval with a cooldown. And it's fucking hard as shit. It's simple, but it's hard as fuck. All you really can do is walk and try to walk smoothly and do enough damage that you pick up all these experience vials so you can level up. But even, you know, sometimes picking up the ones that you earned is impossible because of all these fucking enemies. So that's pretty much the game. Saw a meme of D&D Game of Thrones writer with a caption that said below, the dudes that wrote the Super Bowl script, right? Hell sent your dildo. Papa Cotton didn't watch any of the Super Bowl. So you do know this game. It's not a retro game, but a modern game with a retro style. Exactly, yeah. I'm thinking now in this AI art era, I could probably get the art. You know, I was thinking before, because like I said, I've made a game before, and I did the art, and I'm not good at doing art, man. But art costs. So, my thoughts were, okay, eventually I'll just, you know, find an artist either on Fiverr or Upwork or some shit like that, and find an artist. But not in this AI era. Maybe get a AI art, especially if I'm using some of it similar to this kind of retro style. But I haven't really looked into how this AI art stuff works. So if anybody knows more than me, you guys know I'm a boomer. Please, how do I get out of this? Don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die. Shite. Set to bulldoze. Damn it, now I need health. I don't need that bad. Just team up with someone. Yeah, that's the simple way, but I could just, I'm a greedy capitalist American, so I'm like, well, if I don't team up with someone and just have an AI do it. Oh shit, I'm gonna just have to bulldoze through. See, you look at this shit. Well, that's game. Shite. It's basically game. Oh my goodness. That's death. And not only that, it's just I never really had the money and the time, so it's like not even just to team up. It's like, okay, I'll be the unreliable person at sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I get to the point where I have the time to even dedicate myself to it, well, I'll look at all the options. But I'm not gonna discount that if that's far enough along by that time, whichever that time is. I want to get other stuff off the ground. Like I said, I got a side hustle that I'm trying to get off the ground outside of this. I'm trying to get the music stuff going for a myriad of reasons, because that can spin off into a myriad of things, including, me mixing other people's stuff. So it's a lot of stuff it's a lot of stuff I'm trying to get done over the next couple of years. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to sit down after that. Once I've pried myself from one of these corporate desks and I actually have a little bit more time on my hands, hopefully then I can get something done as far as an indie game of some sort. It's like I only have so much time to dedicate to everything, right? And I can do that, but it will come at the cost of me doing some of the stuff I'm trying to do. So that's the thing. So it's like, okay, I need to, once I'm at a point where I can free up time to do it, then I would definitely be doing it, and then we'll see. I mean, there's definitely more advantages to working with an artist than AI, just off the, an artist. I don't think an AI can replace an artist's vision. I'm sure we'll get to a point where AI can do cool stuff, but it's not going to be the same as a human person and what they can bring to the table creatively and emotionally and all that good stuff. So, as much as I joked about being a greedy capitalist, I'm more than likely I will see myself working with somebody to at least come up with assets. But then again, it's like, how does that compensation work? Let's say I was making this, where you see, okay, this grass, there's different elements. This is just one level. There's like 20 levels. So there's certainly a bunch of different assets that all kind of do the similar things. But, quite a bit of little art was used. So I don't know what the, staff, this could have been one guy who did his own art. That's another option, doing your own art. I'm not as good at pixel art, but if I could find some, some courses, that's also another option. Because like I said, I did my own art for the little game that I did. See the game Tim Pool? Yeah, I've seen some of that stuff. It's like, man, I just feel, I feel like I so vindicated, like I'm so right about a lot of these conservative commentators and how goofy this shit is. It's just and I don't, Tim Pool, when I joke, call him Tim Vigilante Pool with the conspiracy theories and shit. He's just off the rocker, man. But I've heard he has a crazy ego and just can't believe, like, you know what I mean? A lot of these guys clearly have crazy egos, man. They think that they're fucking freedom fighters. I don't know what they convince themselves. They are just as egotistical as the left, my guy. And I guess Tim Pool was a fence sitter. He was a tweener. But you know what I mean? They, in the same way that a lot of these leftists think that they're just saving the fucking world and that they're changing the world, a lot of these commentators on the right, you see, they think the same thing. That's why I almost have more respect for the Daily Wire. They goofy ass. Because at least they know this is a business. They're just goofy about it. But yeah, man. But what I'm saying is he's so hardy that he could, in that moment when everything was going down, he couldn't believe that those were his fans. That's how arrogant it was. Like, oh, this has to be a conspiracy theory, because no true Tim Pool fan would be trolling me right now. That's literally what his thought process in that moment was, or some version of that. And then all the fallout. I bet, Kai tried to explain to me this Eliza Blue thing. I mentioned it earlier. Kai tried to explain this shit to me. Shout out to Kai. And he did, and I understand it, but I guess I have such a disinterest, and there's so many little wrinkles, and everybody, I'm like, who cares? Like, who cares? Like, I can't even tell you. Kai can do a better job explaining the ins and outs of the Eliza Blue thing. But I just know that she was like a video girl, and now she's being, everyone who's put it to the video, she somehow has the power to get them taken off a platform. And whatever, man. Whatever, man. She had been on Tim Pool before, but nobody knew it. Like, see, this is why I am a conspiracy theorist, by the way, because it's like, what, this shit is all sounds goofy and crazy and fake. You know what I'm saying? Just like the people who saw the end of the Super Bowl, like, okay, it ends on a penalty. It's just a weird ending. You know what I mean? This is why people think it's fake. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know, you know, to what extent, but it just seems like there's some agentry going on. Some federales involvement. Tim could have been a federale this whole time. Wouldn't shock anyone, right? How could you be shocked? You know what I'm saying? Especially, I mean, look at how many people, and this is a true kind of indicator of feds. Look at how many people got demonetized and had their channels messed with. We know even this channel's been shadow banned. Our own Rob from Cambodia now, living the life out there. If you follow him on Twitter. But he made it there. He made it. He's there and he's cool. But in any event, you know, all the people that got shadow banned, I'm not saying Tim Pool faced no shadow banning whatsoever. Not saying he didn't work hard and spamming the world with his fucking videos. But when I tried to spam the world with the videos, I didn't get the same algorithmic treatment that Tim Pool got. So, you know, when everyone was getting canceled and everything else, and it was some shadow banning, but he didn't face even the shadow banning somebody like Az got for the fucking Last of Us. You know what I'm saying? Tim Pool didn't even get that much heat. So it's like, could he have been a Fed this whole time and this is just another Fed ass story? Possibly. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hell, New Bomb Turk, sent your dildo. If you know the person, like we were to team up, we could discuss how to monetize it, what our arrangement be. If you don't know the person, you need to have a game plan before you talk to them. Yeah. I think it's funny when they try to fill up AI with a bunch of progressive views and ends up saying endlessly racist shit. Well, maybe that's an indicator of how progressive all that stuff really is. I might be a tar, but those morons keep proving me right. He's just such a dildo. Dubai Turks is not worth the time. Just a bunch of grifters doing grifter things. That's what I thought it was. She's a clout chaser that got caught lying about being trafficked. Now it turns out she stole it from charity. Man, that's a lot. Are they stealing from charity? Or that's what these charities are, man. A lot of these charities, they're just banks, man. They just take a bunch of people's money and spread it out. They're not even charities. What's fucked up is she's lying about raising money for herself, but I got bills to pay. We ain't lying about a pass for it. Months of shit I got from the people in the fandom 2-3 years pointing out their political heroes are lying grifters. Shit's funny. Man, I feel vindicated for all my views over the past couple months and all of my decisions I've made to kind of get away from the political stuff or only talk about it as I want to, when I want to, sort of thing, instead of kind of like, you know, and I still, in my head, haven't capitalized over the Save Big Content. I want to do more editing stuff like that. I want to get a video done. After this, I started a song for TikTok, basically, and I got to finish it. Got to finish the beat I started. And that's, you know, there's so many other creative things I could do now because I'm not worried about the fucking radical left or what's woke. And you know what? And here's something else I could do. I just saw that Flash trailer. Do I like Ezra Miller? No. Do I like the direction of DC? No. Am I going to see the movie? Yes. I'm going to give them money and see the movie. And I get to just watch it. And you know, I'm probably going to watch The Mandalorian. Am I going to watch everything else? No. I'm not going to watch all the other shit. I'm not going to watch Kenobi and none of that shit. But when I saw that Mandalorian trailer, it looked cool, kind of cool. I don't want to give these fuckers my money, but I'm so like, I recognize, like, this is a, you know, demonic ass world. Even that damn thing that it's so ironic. I finally tried to watch the lecture dildo that you sent to me with James Lindsay, and it comes off as some, you know, I didn't get that far into it because it's kind of dry, and a lot of it came off as like, holy shit, I just found out about the Hermetic mystery school system. Holy shit, what do I do? Which I've been there, right? So I'm not knocking it. And sure as shit, I'm fucking watching Drew, and he's talking about some of these ancient religions that fucking drive this sick world So it's like there's so much evil in this world. Most of the companies that we work for are evil. Most of the companies that build shit are evil. Everything's so fucked up. It's impossible not to get your dollar to an evil company. You would have to own nothing and like it, like the communists say. So with that, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna watch the bullshit. I don't want to fund these companies. If I can Tortuga it, I will. But the shit that's interesting, the 2 or 3 things a year that come out that I just kind of want to watch, I'm just gonna fucking watch. But no, at one point that channel didn't have 1.3 million views. Remember, that channel had 200,000 at one point. In 2020, I don't know if you can check the Social Blade. Doesn't it have the dates? Check his main. Check the one with the streaming, the one with the show, because that's the show that got big. The one that now has Ian and everybody used to have. My man Adam. Check that one. That was under a couple 100,000. That was one of those 100,000 channels at once. He had other channels up, but that channel was a smaller channel, relatively smaller channel at one point. He had a couple back in 2020. That channel had like 100,000 to 150, then 200, then 3, then 5. It grew. It grew, as 2020 progressed and the shit got crazy. But at one point, that was a smaller channel. And even though it was in the same realm as, it probably had close to what I mentioned as in Last of Us. If you can do, I don't know what the Social Blade looks like. Maybe after I die, since I'm about to die, let me actually look at it now. And I can see if I can find it. What his subs were, and we can compare what Az was when the Last of Us shit hit, and I guarantee you he won't be as far ahead as you think at that time. You know what I'm saying? So let's I think so September. See, that's what I mean. He had under 100,000 September 2020 on that channel. He had other channels that were up, that were over 500,000. That's you already did. Thank you, New Bomb. That's exactly what I mean. So around that time when there was other channels getting clipped, that means he probably had less than Hills versus Babyface when The Last of Us shit hit. And so Hills versus Babyface got clipped of The Last of Us. They were saying a lot of wild shit at Tim Pool. You said 95,000? 95,000, 950,000 are different. Let me look. Now I'm confused. Now you confused me, man. Maybe you missed the 0 and I'm off. Okay, let's go to Social Blade. And you may have already did it, but now I got to check myself. Okay. Timcast IRL. And of course it's fallen. September 2020. So I don't know which channel you were looking at. So I got 141,000 for Timcast IRL. That was the channel I'm talking about. Like I said, I know he had other channels that were up, but YouTube works channel by channel basis. Let me just exit out of this. Do this live. So hold on. And actually let me move this to Chrome because I don't need to accidentally put myself in some trouble. So give me a second and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Paste. Now, I believe, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if I believe this is the right channel I'm thinking of. So August 2020. Or is this how many? Oh, these are monthly games. So I'm incorrect. You might be right. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right things before I don't. How do you check the dates? Now I'm boomeranging up. You might be right where you just skipped the 0. Az is at 322. Hold on, I'm trying to compare. Okay. This is monthly gain subs, not the subs overall. Is there a way to see his subscriber count for the past? I'm trying to see what his subscriber count was at the past. I can see what his monthly gain was. I can't see what his actual sub count was. because you gain less. You have those spikes, and then you don't do it. Okay, so you said Timcast. Is that the Timcast IRL? Because we had Tim Pool, Timcast, and Timcast IRL, which were the 3 channels he had. I bet at least back then. Let me. Maybe you're right. Maybe if he did have that close to, then yeah, he would have had more pull. What about the summer? What was he doing in the summer? Because it at least shows that was just Timcast. I could have swore he had one channel that at that time was in the same realm, like a under 500,000 sub channel, but I have no idea how to see. Because I don't navigate Social Blade like that, so I'm having trouble even seeing this information you're saying. I can see his current stuff, and I can see it. I don't watch him. Yeah, he's just giant pussy. I don't know. You don't watch him as a giant pussy. I just didn't like his content. After he fell out with Adam, I had no use for him. Straight up. So I can. Let's see, just Social Blade month by month. Yearly. Okay, how do I look backwards? So now I feel like such a boomer. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna get back to the game in a second. Read the chat, LOL. Some of the stuff is. I'm reading the chat. Can you guys hear me? Like, if you guys can hear me, I've been reading and responding to the chat. Click on full summary. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Not to be boomer. Where the fuck is full summary? Because feature detailed statistics. It's not gonna add. Okay. Similar live subscriber count. Jeez. I see that you listed the numbers. I see. Okay, IRL was 654. Okay, now we finally got all 3 of the channels. Because that's what I was looking for. Scroll down toward the bottom. And then I was trying to see, because I see that they gained a lot in that month. I'm trying to see where they were just a few months before then. Okay, total subs. So total subs would have put them in June. Okay, now I finally found the total subs. Now I feel less like a boomer. Okay, so now I can finally show this. Even though this is ad. This is why I have 4 viewers. This is why I'm not as big as Timcast. Okay, after all that, yeah, the total subscribers. So actually, in June, he had ballooned with this channel. I'm right that this channel was under 200,000 in 2020 because it was the most recent channel. You fucked Tim Pool. I didn't. This went way longer than it should have because of my boomerhood. So this was around in the summer. It was under 500,000 and went over 500,000. And actually, I think a lot of this was Adam getting it over 500,000. Quiet as kept. No, I don't have incompetency. I don't want to be this big, by the way. I don't want to be. My dream is about 100,000. If I can get to 100,000 and have 100,000 loyal fans, I'll be dope. Yeah, balloon this summer hit. But remember, this summer, a lot of channels are getting clipped too. You know what I mean? Everybody's not allowed to balloon. Some people were, some people weren't. That was the whole point of me going through all these numbers, is to show that, okay, yeah, he did balloon, but you see, like, he was at a more modest number and then ballooned through all the BS. I think even then, what I'm saying is he was for whatever reason, maybe it was his fence sitting that allowed this, but they didn't let everybody balloon. This is ironically enough, this is the start of Vigilante Williamson's channel. My channel didn't get to balloon. My channel did not get to balloon. Greg Foreman's channel got to balloon. He started a couple weeks after me, believe it or not. He ballooned over this. So maybe it was just him being smarter with what he said, how he did things. No, I'm way better musically than Tim Pool. I'm way better. Yeah, because this is I will cook Tim Pool. I'll cook Tim Pool even at the acoustic shit. Y'all haven't seen that side yet. I'll cook him with the acoustic shit. It hurt his heart. He was like, damn, he can out-rap me. Okay, he's black. He'll grab his guitar. Now I cook him with that. It hurt his heart. Oh, fuck. He's just overall better than me. He's just outright better than me. Fuck around, fuck his bitch, make her happy, all that good, man, fuck his whole life up. He better not ever let me in that compound. He'll want to kill me after I leave. Production came out swinging with the pro recording set. If we talk about the YouTuber innovations, he was smart with a lot of stuff he did as a YouTuber. He brought some smoke to the game. He's the one. He came out with production sets, having multiple channels, multiple videos per day. You know what I'm saying? He knew how to play the algorithm. So there's some of that is just on him. But even people who were trying to play the algorithm, if you didn't make the right type of content, even that era where he blew up that channel, there were some channels that were not allowed. And let me actually go back to Hills, and then we'll check where he was at. Actually, no, let me go to a different tab so I can have it on both. You hear me needing a new desk. So he's at 3, because his channel hasn't grown. Let's see. Monthly gain. What is going on? Total subscribers. Why is it not showing me the total? I don't know if it's just taking time to load or he's not important enough. I'm sure detail. Okay, now I got it. So look at this. I'm not crazy. So if we go to May of 2020, and let's see, when did The Last of Us leak? Last of Us 2 leaks, and that was, let's look back. So that was May. It was May of 2020 when The Last of Us 2 leaked. Okay. That's my damn thing. Let me bring up a Google tab, and we're gonna prove Vigilante's point that Vigilante is not crazy. So we go back to The Last of Us 2 leak. You see this inverse link? Hopefully I didn't dox myself with the search. But if you see this inverse link, this is May 2020. This is when the Last of Us 2, these are where the leaks happen. If we go to May 2020, Timcast is at 214,000 in May 2020. Hills versus Babyface is at 225,000. Now, he got a little boost after, just from the little controversy. But this is literally what I mean. When The Last of Us leaked, Hills versus Babyface faced more consequences for talking about The Last of Us than Tim Pool when he, remember, Adam got kicked off basically for being really pro-MAGA, right? And that was, but Tim Pool's platform was still allowed to grow when it wasn't popular for that sort of stuff. He had, maybe not the most favorable view of BLM, and his platform was still allowed to grow. So that's what I'm trying to say as far as like, he had a little. It wasn't just. I'm not saying it wasn't him and he didn't put in work and he didn't do nothing, but I'm trying to say, how does his views look? Oh man, I done already moved. We already done. I done beat this point to death and probably brought the show to a crawl. So I mean, my point was just to say I think Tim Pool was. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I think Tim Pool was had a little help behind the scenes. His stuff going, or at least he wasn't as hindered as other people who may have been thought of as controversial, even of a similar subcount at the time. Now he's ballooned, and so as his view, I don't know what as his views. Like I said, I moved on. We're about to play Fez. Sorry, this Fez left. Okay. So I apologize. I didn't want to derail too much more of the show and end all the fun of the show just to beleaguer a point. I think this is the game I started with you guys. But my whole point was I feel like there were other creators in the space that got a lot of crap that Tim Pool didn't necessarily have to deal with. So it's like it makes you wonder like how organic was his whole rise. You know what I mean? That's really what I'm trying to get at. Because I don't think it was all organic. That's, I think, I know I overstate it, but there certainly is, if not controlled opposition, people who they want you to think are on your side that aren't. I think if we've learned nothing from all of this, ridiculous, this ridiculous stuff with the Crowder thing or the Eliza or whatever beef, if we've learned nothing from, I'm jumping in the wrong spots. Oh, I see what I'm supposed to do. We've learned nothing from them. We should at least learn that, okay, a lot of these people don't really. Oops, let me do that. Oops, what's the button? This is a pivot. X, okay. A lot of these people never really had your best interest, even in the cards of consideration. This was never about your best interest. This was never about some movement. It was always about the money. It was always about, it's always about some bullshit. Both of their views seem to steadily rise over time. Tim just had bigger jumps. Yeah. It's a business, yeah. And my point is to say that other channels got more suppression than Tim Pool, even if they were more controversial. Now, I mean, part of the reason I think, Tim Pool probably does have a just independent of subject matter. Oops, jumped too early in these stuff. Independent of subject matter, probably has a more algorithmically friendly workflow. That's probably the best way of putting it. But there's nothing here. Okay. Okay, I see what to do. See, he probably has a more algorithmically friendly workflow as far as just the way he does things, because he has, the live stream channel, and he's now blown up that live stream as, oof, I made it. So probably, it's kind of like the premiere show. That's why he gets so many people watching at the same time. He understands how to work on YouTube, and he deserves some credit for that. Oh, shite. That was kind of cool. Damn it. Oh. Do this again. Nah, Tim the Fooder. He was having big guests. Yeah, he did a lot of things right. It wasn't just that. But he didn't face a lot of suppression. You know what I mean? He didn't face a lot of suppression that I think even other channels dealt with. He didn't face a lot of the shadow banning that I saw other channels deal with, even channels that had some subs to them. And that's not to say he didn't do other things that were also like algorithmically smart or just basic business smart as far as having guests on or some of the guests he had and when he had them. So yeah, of course. You know what I mean? There's that too. I don't want to take everything away from him, but I just think there's other channels that just got suppressed off the strength. A lot of them in the fandom. If you remember how, like, there was like a bottleneck on the fandom at that time. They didn't, a lot of the channel, Gary and everybody had a soft, they were steadily growing, but they didn't really blow up to the next year. Can I not get in this room? Don't I have a key? I don't know. But they didn't blow up until like the next year, really. A lot of those channels. So, I mean, I just feel like, you know, and they had a lot of big guests, and it wasn't until Alex Jones came on that F&T and Gary really blew up. If you remember, like they blew up. They had a nice amount of subs. I don't want to discount 200,000-300,000 subs. You know, when I ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? Well, y'all ain't nothing. Y'all great. But as far as just sub count number, he's not in the same space. But my whole point is suppression. Or having topics that are talking about topics that are quote unquote controversial to the algorithm, and some channels being hurt by this and some channels not being hurt by this. Not all of it is just favoritism. Some of this is just doing other things, but I definitely think there's something to it. Why would they suppress him? He's bland as it comes. Maybe that was part of it. I mean, the fence sitting definitely is. Been around the fandom for 6 years. There were a lot of people who just popped up out of nowhere and immediately set in a successful trajectory. That was kind of almost the year after. 2021, 2022, you just start seeing motherfuckers just blow up. But I guess you did see some a little bit before then, but like motherfuckers were like made. You know what I'm saying? Where they just gifted you tens of thousands of subs. Not a big Tim the Fitter. I get what you're saying. Hi everyone, I'll be here as soon as the stream is finished. We're going forever, no worries. What stream are you on? Oh, you gotta get back, no worries. And it's not 1-to-1, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I was just trying to say, hey, I think Tim Pool wasn't as suppressed as other content creators that the algorithm didn't like when they were being suppressed. That doesn't mean he didn't work hard, doesn't mean he didn't have guests and do all the right things he was supposed to do for the algorithm. And plus he also had those other channels that had already done something. So I get all of these things. And his content ended up getting so bland it was damn near mainstream media anyway. And his conclusions are, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really offer, but so I get all that stuff that you guys are mentioning, but like, oh, shite, that's a bad jump. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to use the term fair, but I just feel like he's somebody. He's somebody the powers that be are okay with. Oh, they're okay with him. You know what I mean? They don't. He doesn't. If he's not a part of the system, he's. Oh, jeez, I'm jumping exactly the way they want me to. Okay. He ain't even really gotta be a part of the system. He's so, I just feel like he's, I don't know. I don't want to keep saying fed. I don't want to keep saying controlled ops. I don't want to keep saying the same shit. I'm trying to figure a better term. and I don't even think those terms quite describe what he is. Maybe I was better with what I was saying. He's somebody the powers that be are A-OK existing. Maybe it's a better thing. Look at numbers. To be apples to apples, yes. Because of just the growth. But I was certain, like, okay, let's say I check Steve Turley. His growth is similar to Tim Pool, right? He's a political commentary channel. But I don't feel like he faced things in the same manner that even that era Tim Pool did. Like, he didn't talk necessarily about things that were as controversial as Tim Pool was covering, at least at that time. So it's hard to even find a real analog for somebody like Tim Pool. Well, my point is kind of based upon saying things that were algorithmically unfriendly, which that initial era of Tim Pool IRL did say things that were probably algorithmically unfriendly. Where's this going? I should have gone back to where it is. Don't think he's a fed. A bitch trying to make it in the game that takes guts, maybe. Yeah, I don't think fed is even the right word. I'm just trying to say he had a little. He didn't have, not even he had a push. He didn't have the handcuffs that other channels did. And okay, like, it's kind of hard. Like, I can think of other, maybe, okay, what about Jericho Green? If we looked up his numbers. But see, it's hard to say that because he doesn't have the same format of show. He doesn't have the, you know what I mean? There's so many different things he's doing. Maybe Officer Tatum, which I'm not a big fan of, but I think his growth is going to be similar because I think he's a similar character. You know what I'm saying? Where, I don't know, fed, but he's just, you know, they're cool with him existing. So it's like that. The only people that I can make my points are people I kind of feel similar about. You know what I mean? I guess I didn't really have to make that jump with the mic mechanic. But so it's like it's kind of hard to find a direct analog for Timcast IRL for real. Because it's like, and I'm looking for that 2020 iteration, you know, in other channels where they were in 2020. I'm sure if that's something I can't really do live, right? If I deep dive that, I could probably not even necessarily make a point, but just kind of for my own personal thing, see if my hypothesis is correct. I might find it's not. But my hypothesis is other channels that may have covered things in a way that was, even if you did other algorithmically, I need to find another channel that would have done everything else algorithmically friendly to the time, except the content they covered being controversial. I mean, but you also have to find someone, as you said, that had guests that were as popular. And I don't know if there is one. There's nothing quite like him, right? Which is why he's been able to maintain the audience he has. And that was jacked up. And walked through the door. There's nothing quite like Tim Pool, right? As much as we make fun of him, Tim Pool's a dim fool, whatever. There's a reason he has, I don't know if running makes a difference. He has the audience he has. And a lot of it is his own hard work. A lot of it is his own content. I don't necessarily think he's a fan, like he was chosen. But I think they looked at his content and were cool with allowing it. More so than they were a lot of other people's content. And I don't know what this means. Are they different patterns for different sides? Tatum lives out here in Arizona. He was a Phoenix cop. I don't think, Tim Pool's a fit. There's only so much they can do is throttle. Yeah, I feel like he was, that's my whole point. I just feel like he was less throttled. I feel like other content creators got a lot more throttling than he did. And the only reason I picked the fandom, even though they're not the perfect comp, surely, but they are like content creators that maybe have takes that could offend the algorithm. But no, they're not a perfect count. And the problem is neither are the political commentary channels, because usually they're solo affairs. And Tim Pool obviously had the big thing. Maybe Crowder, but I mean his channel is a lot bigger. But maybe Crowder is the comp. Maybe Crowder is the comp, right? Look how much more his channel's been demonetization, but he's a lot more controversial than Tim Pool. He's too far in one direction, right? So I said, well, Steve Turley, but he has some guests, but not quite the same profile as a Tim Pool. And he's a little bit more, I don't know, it seems to be algorithmically friendly. I could be incorrect. Oh, I get that one on top. Hey, Zax. Hey, Tim's, he's unique in his little role blandness. I know it's partially a joke, but it's partially true. There we go. No one can quite provide what Tim Pool provides. Did I not do it right? Oh no. Shit. Am I stuck? Okay. Oh, it's all fucked up. How the hell do you do this? You say Tim Pool 3 times in the mirror, nothing happens. Tim Pool show is just to make sure the stupid stay stupid. Basically, I mean, and this is Fez. Kai came out in 2012. If you ever seen the movie Indie Game, the movie, it's one of the games that was featured. I may play the other one at one point, Super Meat Boy. Oops. What the hell does this? Or do they want these up there? Maybe I want them up there. Yeah, I think you're right, Newbon. I think these pieces go up there. Oof. Okay, let's try to get this one up there. Oh man, that's even rawer, Kai. He said Tim Pool's not there to make the stupid stay stupid. He's a stupid who doesn't realize it's stupid, who thinks he has something meaningful to contribute. God damn. Kai said it, man. I think that is more accurate, man. That's his. But no, that is because that's the thing about a lot of these guys, man. The crowd, all of these guys, they think that the shit that they're kicking, man, is the next level shit that they understand, and they're gonna save humanity, man. You just don't understand, man. Like I mean, I'm going off the night, like, you understand me, but they just really think like, I'm contributing to the conversation. I'm changing the world. I'm this journalist genius. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. That's weird. I was just sitting there. I don't know how I did that. That's cool. I was gonna get the other patterns. Same reason for the view. Interesting. That was weird. Never thought of comparing Tim Pool to the view. But I mean, there's a comp, right? Oops. Okay, let's try this. That's not what I wanted. There are 9 spots on top. You have to line them up from all sides. Maybe that's it. But then they have these Tetris patterns. I'm trying to match those too. But I get that, but I'm also trying to, and it's like, I'm trying to line up. I need this pattern, but at this, on this block. It's not working. I'm ready to give up on this. Fuck it. Sad thing, he's making money being that way, lots of money. But hey, it's a capitalist society. If you provide something that people want, you're gonna make money. People do want a milquetoast YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? People do want a milquetoast YouTuber that seems like he talks about the things that you want. No, I'm giving up on this. There's so many patterns. I'm done. There's other stuff to do. And then I already got something, so that also leaves me like, all right, do I keep looking for stuff because I already got stuff? And this is what stopped me from playing this game last time. Is I got like just wildly lost. I don't know if it was that. I think I got past that puzzle, honestly. I keep hitting that wrong button. But it just got just so wildly confusing where I was supposed to go. But yeah, I'm not gonna. Maybe I could get through or keep fooling around with it. Especially on the street, it just gets bad where it's like, okay, if I'm especially with a game like this, there's other different worlds. He then Pool, let me see. Am I missing something? Is this top chat? I thought it was all chat. Hold on 1 second. Man, I wasn't getting all the chats. Sorry if I was missing you guys' chats. I wasn't getting them all. Yeah, YouTube pushes the milquetoast creators, keeps the advertisers happy, keeps the masses sedated. Yeah. Can't get in the water? I can swim. Yeah. How the fuck did I get here? Cause I've been in different worlds, and I'm basically just trying to select a different world. It's a different world. I may have to go back in there. Let's go on that mission. It depends on the content you're looking for in the first place. That's true. I mean, there's still a lot of content creators that say a lot of stuff that you would think that is not algorithmically friendly. So I don't know. But I mean, I just feel like Tim didn't face the suppression at that time. And I mean, he always had that milquetoast nature about him. That was always a bit of why I think he kind of got away as well. Oh, shit. Death. Oh, no, I survived. Your gameplay is so two-dimensional. What means a three-dimensional game? I need more drugs to help with that two-dimensionality. I haven't smoked in a while. I did smoke earlier, but that was only for my back. So I didn't even get high. Just like it was medically needed. You know what I mean? I just, it was that. Now I'm just trying to find a different world. Like, the Cosby Kids, basically. I'm like, okay, how do I get to some of the cooler levels of this game? I think this is, I know I'm going back. Oh, jeez, I just fell back into the fucking water. This is die, so I don't have to do all that crawling. I'm going back because I don't know where else to go. Finally timed that right. Where's this taking me? Open thy chakras. No, I ain't fucking with those chakras, my guy. Finally, something weird. There you go. Black holes. They're bad without the hexagon. Look at this. See, we got something new. Shite. You said probably took a break to find his authentic self. You talking about me? So you're kind of right. I've definitely took a break to figure out what the fuck this channel's gonna be. Kind of think it's gonna be this though, man. Just games and beats and shit like that. And then like, you know, we're talking subjects and shit on these streams. Hopefully these streams can grow. You know what I mean? But obviously there's something to be desired. And the oof, I wanna die with the shift. There's probably something to be desired as far as production value for these streams. Let's see if I go through this. Oh shit. What the fuck? Look at this. It won't let me shift. I must have shifted into the black hole. Nah, Matt. Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, shout out to Matt. I hope he's good. I know he's has some stuff going on. Hey. I'm glad I went to something else. Found 8 cubes. Go back to the place with all the doors. Let's go unlock another world. Let's see what's up here first. I mean, man, I don't have a desire to talk about the news of the day. Doing this show once a week, twice a week is cool enough for me. And doing these games and just kind of talking about whatever there's to talk about. Speaking of which, I meant to say rest in peace to Trugoy from De La Soul. He passed. So rest in peace to him. I don't really need, I don't need to talk about the villain of the week, man. It's gotten old. Yeah, you didn't hear about that? Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah. I do remember him being sick. Last couple Friday night streams, can you blame him? Can I blame who? Matt? Oh, like I said, I hope Matt's good. Now this break, I don't even know if this break is like I don't know. I don't think this is it, man. I really do like the music on the TikTok. I'm not sure if you're following who has a TikTok and who's following me on TikTok. I know China, I know Keystrokes, I know, but what the fuck? We're in 1984, man. And I mean, I'm cool with the numbers so far. Haven't done much. I didn't realize. Shout out to Moira Kitty. Didn't realize how big on TikTok she was. She has like 6,000 followers on fucking TikTok, man. Very Raelians are aliens. The villain of the week, though. Yeah, I did see that. We talk. I was watching Drew talk a little bit about it. Even you thought it might be Bluebeam, Papa Cotton. Even you thought it might be a Project Bluebeam thing. So I don't know. What do you guys think about some of the shot down balloons and some of the UFO talk in general over the recent? I guess I can't catch that shit like that. It's Bluebeam. So yeah, you said it's Bluebeam. It's the first thing you thought of. I'm glad that we live in a world where now people recognize this stuff. As recently as last year, if I talk about something like this, oh my god, everything's a controversy, everything's a conspiracy. But now we know. I mean, shit. You see mainstream stuff talking about sports are big. You see people starting to smarten up that the world around them is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that was weird. People have smartened up to that shit. You didn't hear about shit about UFOs. Apparently, they could have been some unidentified flying objects got shot down. A lot of people think they are Chinese spy balloons or some shit. So they could be. Could be some Bluebeam predictive. Who knows what it is, right? Okay, nothing I can. Oh shit, just definitely do that. Probably just internet gas, haha. Never forget, right? Never forget there was a new Warriors, and one of the people got powers from internet gas. Never forget someone got paid. Not a lot of money to write internet gas as a origin story. Somebody was paid minimum wage. salary, essentially, because those Marvel writers don't get paid much. Uh-oh, death. Someone got paid less than a 7-Eleven manager to come up with internet gas. Let's see. Well, we got the balloon. If we can get some horseshoes and clovers, we got a solid treasure here. It's not about what it actually is. It's about our own government leaning into the alien thing. Yeah, that's been strange over the past few years. That says Blue Beam all over. I get it. Prepping us for the alien invasion. Hashtag Watchmen was a documentary. And I don't mean the movie. I mean the comic book. You guys remember the comic book? The whole point of that comic book was fucking Project Blue Beam. Oh, shit. Did I mean to do that? Oh, shit. What's this? Go back and finish this first. But yeah, if you remember the comic book, they changed it a little bit in the movie, but the comic book was Project Blue Beam. It was the guy has a alien, he fakes an alien attack to try to bring the world together. That was Ozymandias' plan. So you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you want to consider that predictive programming. I don't know what you want to consider that, but don't die. I did. Exactly. One day we'll defeat the aliens, united under one world government. Yeah, you guys get it. And the normies are gonna go along with it, man. The normies are gonna go along with it. What choice do they have? What choice do we have? You know what I'm saying? I would love to say, man, let's do X, Y, Z. Fuck this shit, it ain't gonna be me. That's death for the people. More death. Can I even get it from there, or am I have to get up top and drop? That's way too early. Game looks dope. Thank you, K2J. There we go, finally. Let's make the freaking jump. So, Fez. So Indie Game came out 2012, as I've mentioned. Ever heard the movie Indie Game, the movie? This is one of the games that was featured in it. Oops, too early. Oop, I had it though. Shite. I'm telling you, I got a lot of shit to do. Lemmings are gonna lemming. Now I'm lost to what I'm doing with my life. I think I was better off doing that. I fucked up everything. Okay. Oh shit, this part's been pretty two-dimensional. Very platformy. I don't think I could play this, but you're killing it. That's a pretty simple game to play. Man, maybe I should go back to that other world. They can put Pac on the stage, they can put aliens on the sky, right? Yeah, there's a lot to this game. Oh shit, where are we going? This is a different... One of the earlier sections of the game, I believe. Oh, this gets me back to the cubes. Okay. Okay, so it gets me back here. That's where I want to be. As I do know at a certain point when I played this originally, I got lost. Really love the soundtrack, and this game is a nice, vibey game. Nice vibey game. Taking a little smoke break. But really cool graphics, really cool soundtrack. It's funny, when the game was released and promoted in the first few years of its life, it was noted by the creator, a guy named, I think, Phil Fish. I did listen to that Edo Future Wave tape. I listened to the whole thing. That shit was cold. I like Future Wave's production. He was a bit understated in his production this time. I think, and that's not a bad thing. But really letting Edo do his thing, so to speak, where he could have took it over. That's a balance thing. We do those producer projects, which I want to do one day. As both the producer and the MC, I want to do one of those producer projects with one producer, one MC. But it's a smooth thing to balance, especially when you got lyrical MCs, man. Because you don't want to have and you can make real cold beats, but you don't want to have almost too much beat, if that make any sense. I thought, struck that balance really well as a producer. It bangs, yeah, it bangs. He does his thing as a producer, man. Does his thing. Like I expected he should. Like, from the stuff I've listened to him before, it's been pretty cool. I like his style. A lot of good music out there, man. It inspires me. I feel like it's one of the better eras for music, honestly. Yeah, you can't be too busy, and he's made busier beats that I like. You know what I mean? Even with the sample based production, you can be. It's very easy to be busy. I mean, look, obviously the Kanye, Just Blaze, even a lot of RZA stuff. Even though a lot of RZA stuff, to me, the best stuff is the more laid back stuff. But having that balance, man, that's cool. And I mean, we're in a different era of technology with sampling. You could do a lot more than you could back then. And then there's a lot more available. And then, digital digging's a thing. So there's always, always samples. To find track lib is now a thing. If you don't want to deal with the publishing stuff. Melancholic RZA is the best, yeah. Thinking Liquid Swords, the 95 RZA to me is my favorite, where you have both Liquid Swords and the purple tape. Those, having them both, and you had, some crazy beats, man. Some crazy beats. That helped influence a lot of what we have now, along with, obviously, my man Doom and Madlib, Mad Villainy, Champion Sounds, which was, I remember in high school listening to that stuff. That I feel like that's the biggest influence over a lot of underground stuff, if nothing else from a structure standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Even though you're seeing people start to shy away from that, you are starting to see a few more hooks. I think because you don't want to, because now everybody's onto it, right? You come up with some simple loops and spit, and it's cool, but you don't want to be like everybody else. So you are seeing a few more hooks. And with me, man, like, I'm trying to figure out what genre I want to even be in, man. Like, I'm about to finish up this kind of boom bap-ish beat that I started on TikTok. I'm going in the same places. But, man, I've been listening, I'm always intrigued by people who come up with their own shit. Like, I don't want to sound like this group. Everybody remember when Death Grips came out. And it, like, people joke, But there was nothing, and there really is nothing quite like when they first, you're like, what the fuck is this? And I'm intrigued, and I don't necessarily want to make something that sounds like that, but I'm intrigued in something that sounds so new and so different from anything that you had before. And you have to I've never been that good, or good enough to come up with something like that where it's just innovative. Oh, the first Method Man album was cold too, yeah. Only rap album you owned in the 90s was NWA's 100 Miles of Running, which is a good album. Cool album. If you got to pick one, you could do a lot worse. Like if you would have said, no disrespect, what's the Vanilla Ice one? I know Ice Ice Baby. What was the album called? They took a lot from Dalek and Techno Animal and made it their own. So I never heard of those groups or those artists. It's a classic book, yeah. I never heard of Dalek. I may have heard of. Obviously, it's a Doctor Who, I think it is. Reference. But Techno Animal, I don't think I've heard of. Okay, I think have I gone to all these rooms? Shout out to this Illuminati owl. Staring there, saw. This game is called Fez. So, Fez, like the Shriners. And it's about the universe tearing apart. This is a weird game. But it is also a vibe. Small industrial hip hop movement in the early. See, I never even heard of it. So you're up on all the shit. You up on the shit in the past, man. See, I never heard of that shit. I think I got to everything. Yeah, man. I had Body Count, but that as a count. No, they were. I mean, I know it was Ice-T, but I think they're more of a rock sort of thing. Still that disc with Ice-T. Says New Mountain Turk. Isn't it weird that Ice-T even did that project? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, just to have been this gangster rap pioneer, he's like, man, I'm about to make a fucking rock album. Make a song called Cop Killer. Like, what do you think? But I guess, you know what, though? That just shows how the 90s, that's that unbridled kind of creativity. I don't know if it's going to work. It may flop, but I'm going to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? There's something to be said about that at the same time. It's just like that, fuck it. We're going to see if it works. He knew the members, I see. Mid-90s. But that was early 90s. It was a little earlier than that fad, I believe. Well, even though no Anthrax had did the song with they did the remix with around the same time. Public Enemy, they had a remix. But it was before the mid late 90s thing. You know what I mean? That was a soundtrack for Judgment Night. They did that was a whole album though, right? Like you said, it's the soundtrack, but wasn't the whole shebang? When did that drop? Oh, so the whole thing, so that was the whole point of the project. I see. Okay. I guess you were starting, because there was a fucking, did they do, what the hell? What the hell is this? See, look, and I can't rotate this, by the way. Like some owl worship shit, 93, 94. Okay. I guess that's a little bit before, but that's right. Leading into that trend. 93. Okay. I thought it was early-ish 90s. That still, I think, is before that trend, but it actually kind of sounds like it was like, let's pop this trend off. You know what I'm saying? If that was the whole gimmick. Movie dropped same time as the soundtrack, obviously, yeah. Somebody saw the writing on the wall of the trend. So, man, let's just put a bunch of hip hop and rock guys on the same project. Cause I could just see that energy was kind of moving that way. So it was like right pre-trend. Okay. So now I don't know where to go. This thing, I'm like, oh shite. As vibey as this game can be. Oh shit. Oh, so that's all death. Wasn't a bad overall, man. There's rats in here. As vibey as the game is, as you guys can see, it gets like you walk into a room, you do the little platform trick. You know what I mean? You find yourself just kind of like meddling about. That's why sometimes I'm going in the same room. Don't know if I've been in this room before. It just all comes kind of the same. It's a cool looking game. It's a cool sounding game. It's a very cool mechanic when done well, but it's because this game is trying so hard not to give you any information on it, or give it to you in parts, and it's just like it's not a real linear path. It's not holding your hand as far as what path you take, or going to the next places, or what you've done already, and it's just catching up with local underground shit, making crazy bangers. Man, I regret not getting really into the local scene in Charlotte, and I haven't in Houston. It's like, golly, these are pretty good cities for music. And then Austin's not too far from here. Obviously, Matt's there. I need to get into the local scene, some of the music that's around here. Because I was a little bit, even in Detroit, even though I wasn't like going to all the clubs, I was a little bit more in tune with the local stuff. Like I would at least be getting, even because I was in Michigan. I wasn't always in Detroit. Even when I was in Michigan, I was like, okay, I knew when Black Milk shit was dropping. I knew when all these other guys were dropping, and I would grab their shit. You know what I mean? And I just haven't. And since I left, I got out of tune with everything. You know what I mean? I really got out of tune with music. It's been a challenge to kind of get back in, even though it's starting to get easier as I fall to my death. Yeah, I'm amazed about a lot of the creativity in the music scene. You know, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there's something I do want to talk about. I don't even know who the character is. I believe the guy's a rapper, and I'm not sure how big the rapper is. So if he's a huge rapper, you know, I'm a boomer, so he could be one of the biggest guys out. But he was talking about not wanting to pay producers their full share of the publishing. And it's another one of these things that only happens in hip-hop, man, where they don't. I mean, trust me, people in all genres get ripped off by, you know, contracts and shit. But it just seems like they always try to do something janky in hip-hop. So his argument was, well, you know, I'm paying for the promotion. Can I grab this guy? I cannot. I'm paying for all the promotion. I'm paying this. I only need to give you 10% of the song. And it's like, bro, I'm providing the beat. That's no other. You can't do that to any other genre. You can't do that to a songwriter in rock or pop or something. I mean, you can't if you're just ripping them off. If you could just rip them off, yeah. But every other songwriter in every other genre, which is what a producer is, you're writing the music. You're a songwriter. That's why you get that percentage of a publisher. And I mean, yeah, is it always a 50% all the time, depending on the situation? I know with these crazy DJ Khaled mashups, sometimes people have taken less just because if you get a small piece of something like all I do is win. How many times they played that damn song? So it's like it's worth it. Maybe worth it to you. But outside cases like that, it's typically 50% of the music is the producer's share, and you get that publishing, and the guy doesn't want to pay. And I mean, we're in also the interesting world with producers now. We do have the loop makers now, and the loop makers want their share. And I get how that can be complicated. I get a lot of people complain about, you got 5 loop makers, 5 producers, all these, and then splitting that share could just be a mess. I get that, and I get why in those cases you're like, well, if it's 5 different guys, it's like there is no one. So I get that. I get how these splits can be funky. I don't want to totally just bash the guy, but it's just like, man, if me and you sit down and I come up with a stuff, especially some non-sample music, which I do, have, and me and you come to the table and we come up with a song, that product. That song, as a songwriter, I've written 50. I am entitled to some of my publishing royalties. I'm entitled to 50% of the publishing royalties, and me and you are the only 2 songwriters. I wrote the music, you wrote the lyrics. And that's that. There's other royalties that I'm not entitled to as just a songwriter, and you should have all of those. And then whatever my fee is for production, which maybe, depending on the situation, maybe I'm just cool with the publishing. Maybe I'm just cool with the 50% publishing. And hey, maybe if you want to negotiate with a producer, I'm going to give you more up front to give you less on the back end. That's your business as well. And that's up to that producer. There's other ways around it. But the idea that in general, you shouldn't get your part for a song when you're part of the song. I know there's promotion. I understand that. I know these splits can be janky, but no, that's just not right. And yeah, the rapper gets carried. Yeah, Betty gets carried by the beat. That's nothing. A lot of these rappers are carried by the production nowadays. And I don't know who he is. And, I get people who are actively in this business, even at an underground level. It can be complicated. And I'm sure in a lot of cases you are doing more work than the producer as far as the promotion. But again, if you don't like that, make your own beat. Or if you find, I'm sure there's producers you can give them more of a front end and take some of the back end back. I'm sure guys will make that deal. You just may have to do that. Like, okay, if I want more of this publishing, especially on an underground level, back in the day, 10,000 wasn't shit for a beat, depending on the era. But nowadays, some cats, you give that to them, they'll give you some of their publishing back. They'll be happy to. 10 stacks right now. Some cats, you can't do that shit. 15 stacks, 20 stacks right now. All right, new bomb. Have a good night. And yeah, I'm glad the rapper and producer tapes came back. That's the best way to do it, honestly. I'm trying to do this self-produced thing and genre band and do my sometimes Andre 3000 thing, so I got to do that first. But once I'm done kind of doing my little experimental stuff, I want to do the producer rapper thing from both ends. One is an MC with one producer. I want to do a project with Jay Marvelous. I think he's back on YouTube. I know I talked about him going away. If I can get in contact with him or get enough, that would be cool. Just like him doing all the beats, me just spitting. And then I want to find a rapper and like just do all the beats too. I want to do both. And you're getting out of here. I don't know how long I'm gonna go. I'm starting to get tired. It's the last one. So this is the last door to light up. Yeah, King's Disease. Oh, hopefully we're back. Yeah, F in the chat. Here we go. Are we back? I think we are. Sheesh. We back. Cool. Well, like I was trying to say before the CIA rudely interrupted me by crashing OBS, is the one producer thing, King's Disease, which they're working on 4, and apparently Benny has a project with Hit Boy coming out too, which I can't wait till that drops. Go alert mode. We're still here. No worries, Papa Kai. It's getting late. I'm about to go to. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna go. What's over there? Salute Whoop. But yeah, man, I'd like the one producer, one MC thing. Shout out to Alchemist. To me, he reinvigorated that. I remember when I bought Return of the Mac, the CD, the one he had with Prodigy. I actually purchased that. I used to work at a retail / grocery store called Meyer. I purchased it from Meyer after work one time. That first one. Well, no, which one was the HNIC and? Oh, sorry, did all this. It was HNIC and it was Return of the Mac. I think Return of the Mac was the first one. Him and LP. Yeah, you got to give Run the Jewels some credit with that, right? But I'm talking about the past 10, 15 years. Because to me, the real project was Covert Coup. That was the one. That one with him and the first one with him and Currency. That was to me the one that like made it like real cool. I mean, shit, you go back, you can say Mad Villain and shit like that. And then Run the Jewels, obviously, unless you talk about something else I'm not thinking of offhand. But LP. Because I mean, most of LP, I'm thinking more of his solo stuff, of him being the main producer, main MC himself. It's not quite the same thing, even though that's what I'm trying to do, but that's not quite the same thing. But Alchemist, and then Mad Lib too. Obviously, I mentioned this stuff, and he got back into it with a lot of recent projects. Alchemist just has so fucking many, man, and they're so good. And I am an Alchemist stan, no lie. LP, oh yeah, he did do the rap music album pre-Run the Jewels. That's right. That's what started Run the Jewels. You're right on that. That was a cold ass album too. That was a cold ass album. To me, that was kind of important for Mike too, because it was like, you really looked at Mike's career, and at that point, it's like, wait a second, you don't really got that many projects, my guy. You just look, and he had a couple, but it's just like, for as long as he had been around, he didn't really have that many projects. You know what I'm saying? And so he kind of needed that one to kind of solidify. And then when the Run the Jewels took off, oh, you know what? I needed this key. So I'm glad I came back here. You know, obviously, it went basically mainstream. Yeah, great album. But I mean, sheesh. I would love to look at, that's some other stuff if we're looking at. How many projects did Killer Mike have? He had been around like 10, 15 years, had like 4 or 5 projects. I'm like, wow, that's not, they don't math right. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Been around since 2000. You say they went as high as Underground goes. I think they went mainstream. And I don't mean that as a knock. I think they took it the step. I feel like them and now Griselda's in that is probably in that step where it's like, you're basically mainstream now. You know what I mean? Because what part of it is the late, like, I don't think you need to be Taylor Swift to be mainstream now. You know, the line between mainstream is a lot, the threshold's lower. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. The threshold's lower. You don't need a major label to be mainstream. And I'm not saying mainstream is sellout either. I'm saying just when you look at, because I mean, I don't know, man. I think Run the Jewels is pretty, like, you know what I mean? Hell, Courtney, is this going to be the same thing? Yeah, it's the same thing. I think it's the only one. Okay. It's niche. They just took it to another level. I don't know. Then they get to, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that there's this weird place now where there's a lot of bands. I'm thinking of the R&B group girl, her. Is she mainstream? I think so. But like her songs don't play on the radio like that. You know what I'm saying? But think she's mainstream. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's this weird path of like, is it niche? Is it underground? Is it mainstream? Is it where does mainstream fall? Because you got to remember, bro. What's the girl, Sweetie? She had 2 million followers and only sold 2,000 copies. You know what I mean? She's mainstream. You know what I mean? And she only sold 2,000 copies. And Griselda would, you know, every project they've done the past 3 years or so more than that. So who's mainstream? You know what I'm saying? Is it Sweetie with 2 million subs or 2 million plus followers? Or is it Griselda with less than that but a loyal fan base? We're in a weird era. That's where it's like, I don't even know how you determine what's mainstream now. She had a hit, then her tape bombed. But she was supposed to be a mainstream artist. She had a major label push. It didn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's what I mean. It's like there are underground acts who are killing mainstream based on numbers now. So how do you define it? We're in a weird era. You can't really define it, where that line is. And I mean, she's a obviously worst case scenario. The most mainstream acts are going to give you more than 2,000 first week, even in this era. Just off the Spotify counting it, you know, the way they count those, I think it's 1,500 for an album sales, something crazy. But even with that, you'll get more than that. We're talking about what does mainstream mean now with because we brought up Run the Jewels, and my argument is there is no. We're in a weird place with mainstream music because there was an artist. Her name was a rap artist named Sweetie or Saweetie. I don't know how to pronounce it because I only see it on the internet. She went viral. And then when her album came out, she only sold 2 million copies. 2,000. She has 2 million followers, only sold 2,000 copies. And so what Central Dildo's describing is what happened. Went viral. Kids went on to something else by the time a project came out. But she was considered a mainstream act is the thing. It's almost as if mainstream is, and that happens to a lot of mainstream acts though. She's not the only one that's happened to. So it's like, the underground acts are doing better by grinding and building actual fan bases. That's what we're finding. It's harder for them to push. There was another, and you know, a lot of these people are industry plans. Remember Eon Dior? I mean, I'm sure Griselda, Run the Jewels, some of these bands we're talking about do better numbers than he does, or he did. Because these mainstream acts, outside of the top, like the Drakes and whoever, they're not building fan bases. They don't really have fans. They just have followers who are just here for the viral hit, and they're not building fan base. They're not doing the grind. They're still too new. You know what I mean? And so it's like, how can you even call those artists that are technically mainstream, and the artists that are supposed to be underground, when the underground artists are doing better in every conceivable way now, because they're doing it right and they're making good music and they're building fan bases off of their music. You know what I'm saying? And it took longer. Shit, Griselda, how long they been doing this? Since I've been doing it. See, started 2005. You know what I'm saying? I stopped for like 10 years and started back. So, you know what I mean? So like they've been doing this forever. And so now they're finally at a point where they're able to reap the success of all that grinding. And you find all these mainstream acts got all this money pumped into them. They have a viral hit, and they're gone before it's time to even cash out on the hit. So it's like they're not even really the mainstream ain't even mainstream no more. Is almost my point. That's because everything can be found free. That's true. But we're also in the merch era too. People You know, shout out to Griselda, but a lot of groups have proven this whole merch thing. Even if you buy the album's free, the merch isn't. You know. And you're right, Grateful Dead only have one number, or one song that chart. Technically, they could be considered a one-hit wonder, but their fan base, they build a loyal fan base, and when they're able to grind off it. Run the Jewels built a fan base and now selling tons of records and merch despite putting all their music out for free digital. Yeah, made bank on touring, placements, movies, and shows. Yeah, all these things is like, hey guys, you're independent, but you guys are mainstream now. Like, I think Run the Jewels have more cachet than Sweetie, or Eon Dior, or a lot of these same. I'm just naming guys and gals, but these major label pushed artists. If you're a major label pushed artist, but you're lighting the ass musically, man, these underground cats will eat you alive on every level, not just musically anymore. It used to be, the underground doesn't sell, but the mainstream sells. Now it's like, shit, all I need is 50,000 anyway from an underground artist. I don't need that. All I need is shit. If y'all could just spend this shit on Spotify, if I can get 50,000 of my fans to spend this shit on five monthly, and y'all buy some merch, I'll probably be, and y'all come out on the tours, because that's where the money's really made, is the tours, I'll be okay. ICP, bro, you can make fun of ICP and the Faygo shit, even though Faygo is actually delicious if you guys have never actually had the pop. Bro, I was there in Michigan where the Juggalos were live, and there were and they were proud of it. They were proud to be Juggalos, man. They were proud to be Juggalos. Run the Jewels is RTJ. They even put out action figures sold out in a day, so that's what I mean. But yeah, Courtney hadn't heard of Run the Jewels probably. Yeah, she doesn't know him. She doesn't know who Sweetie is either, though. So I doubt. I don't think we're in a weird. I mean, there's very few real mainstream acts. So I think the underground acts, just at the underground level, have become a new version of the mainstream as far as music fans. Like because there's the contingent of people who are every Friday, they know who everybody who's dropping and all this other shit, which I'm not that hardcore. I ain't gonna lie. And now I feel like I'm going in circles. Oh shit. I feel like I'm going in circles with this game. I may call it just out of tiredness, and I'm starting to get tired. And I don't even know if my arguments are even coherent. This is this shit again. I'll give this shit another go, and then we're gonna probably call it. But yeah, I think this is we're in a different era, man. I don't know where the mainstream. Oh shite. Or maybe. Oh no. I don't know where the mainstream line begins and ends anymore. It's and I mean, I think that's why aren't a couple of the Griselda members signed to Roc Nation? That's why management is becoming a new thing, because labels don't even make sense anymore. Ooh, maybe this is it. There we go. It's easier once we reset it. Damn, that was a lot quicker. Yeah, they're proud. They are proud of that Juggalo shit. They do see it as a family. That's why ICP marketing, they deserve some credit. I remember back when I was in Michigan, there was a shit. Anybody remember the cable days of On Demand? It was kind of proto Netflix, and they had an interview segment with Insane Clown Posse, and they were showing all their action figures and their T-shirts and all the marketing, the merch, and they were ahead of the game with merch. ICP, they were way ahead of the game with merch and how they sold merch, and I was like, wow, I was impressed. I would be lying if I told you a part of the Vigilante Williamson thing, as much as I never listened like their music, if that top style of marketing wasn't in the back of my head to one day be able to do some of that stuff. I guess you're right from that sense. If you're the mainstream act is the act with a major label behind them. But I mean, I think we're in the major label can't guarantee what it used to. The major label isn't what it used to be. They can't guarantee the level of marketing, or they can't guarantee the level of results for the marketing like they used to be able to. They can't, like they have, you have a Glorilla, you have hits that still happen, of course. You know what I mean? But it's just not the same. A lot of these artists aren't really, she hit pretty big. This is going to be the same area I just came out of. Oh no, not this. But there's a lot of artists who just fall off. Mainstream and stuff played on the radio. Okay, that's one standard. If you just go off of if it's on radio or not, that's probably a safe standard, right? But again, even a lot of those acts are not on any level outputting what some of these independent acts are doing. There's a lot of, if you talk about, we're talking about rap, but you can do this for underground bands compared to some of these major label bands even, believe it or not, where there are underground acts who are just doing more numbers than people who have songs on the radio, because they can get a song on the radio, they can put the marketing behind it, and they can maybe make something go viral borderline artificially, but there's no teeth, there's nothing, there's no one who really is checking for them. You know what I'm saying? They don't really have fans. That's really what I'm trying to get at. A lot of these well-marketed mainstream acts are not ending up with actual fans at the end of the day, despite how well they're marketed, despite how much money's being put behind them. A lot of them just aren't panning out. And I mean, that's always been the case on some level with the entertainment industry. It's all been like since the 80s. Yeah, one-hit wonders. There was a lot of one-hit wonders in the 80s. But I don't even know if you're getting one-hit wonders anymore, man. Yeah, thank the internet. I think the internet's killed the like, I don't see how these mainstream record labels, well, I do see how they exist. They exist because they're still able to find these a lot of artists and sign a lot of these artists that they can generate stuff. But I mean, even these guys, even look at if we stay on the rap side, like the NBA YoungBoy. I mean, a lot of these guys, they're basically independent artists. You know what I mean? Well, how much of the work they're fucking doing. How much, he has his own, he has a YouTube channel. He does a lot of shit himself. And so it's like, what do they provide for real, for real? I already did this, didn't I? Yep. Okay, guys, I'm going in circles. In every way of the world, where we've gone quite a while. It's been 2 hours. It's been right on 2 hours, right around 2 hours as we start to mess things up. So at the 2 hour mark, I'm about to call it. Super Bowl was awful. Oh, we haven't really talked about the Super Bowl. I tried to talk about it earlier. What do you think, Courtney? Oh yeah, you're a Philly gal. What'd you think about that penalty at the end before I get out of here, Courtney? I thought that was no. I want to get your opinion, Courtney, before we get out of here, because you're a Philly chick, and I'm sure you saw that crazy that penalty at the end that basically ended the game. Refs were paid, man. I always say sports are rigged, and you know what? I would love to watch a game and be proven wrong, but it just doesn't happen. Those refs were janky, right? That was crazy, right? It felt rigged. These games just feel fucking rigged, man. It's hard to watch this shit and think that it's real. I can still be entertained by it. I can still get into it. But nah, man. Vegas wins, man. Vegas always wins. That penalty was not a proper call. The Grand Prix rigged? You're out of your mind. Grand Prix? You talking about F1? I don't know nothing about F1. Is that a joke? I got a low from Dildo, so maybe that was just a joke. But yeah, Super Bowl mega rigged. All these sports, I think, have some rigging to it. Oh, go Speed Racer, go. The Speed Racer isn't rigged, even though he's a prick. If you ever see those damn clips. Low Kai. Yeah, but yeah, man, the NFL, NBA, MLB, all that shit, man. Vegas is always gonna win. So I hope nobody put too much money down on these games, man. Cause yeah, Vegas is gonna win. We got a real racer here. The great Ghost. Go Speed Racer, go. All right, guys. Enough is enough. I'm about to get out of here because I'm getting tired, even though I just woke up and I got shit to do. But in any event, if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged, please subscribe. Yeah, you and me both can't afford to bed. Can't afford to do shit now. And even if you do none of these things, have a good evening. Have a good week. I'll talk to all you West Stories and East Stories later. Peace.